I tag him in pretty much everything. So, he's got good stuff. But Tommy Joe Martins, he's got a lot of opinions, and I like that. He had a blog. He caught, some headlines last year from his stuff on the blog, and I hope to have him on again next season in 2017. So, yeah, we got Larry Johnson coming on. He's going to spend a few minutes with us tonight. He's a former professional bull rider and a country guy, lives in Kentucky, personal friend of mine. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, then you're going to want the children's to walk away from the radio, because I got the emails, man. People went hard on me in the emails. I asked everybody to send me emails, man. Tell me if you like my show. If you don't like my show, ask me questions. And, man, I got them. So, with all that said, man, the legend, the Kentucky legend right here, former bull rider, Cowboy Coffee Chew bull rider, and, just an all-around good guy, former truck driver himself. Larry Johnson joins the program. Larry, how you doing tonight, sir?
Man, I tell you, Mr. Hammer, doing a whole lot better than I ever deserved anyhow. How about y'all?
Doing good out here. Me and you talk a lot, and we've both ridden bulls, and we've both driven trucks, and we live in two different areas of, basically it's two different worlds if you were to sit down and really break it down. And we're so similar. We were raised completely different, and we're so similar basically in every which way. If you just want to, briefly go in and let everybody who's listening, all the people out in, Hollering with Hammer and VictoryLaneRadio.com world, just let them know, briefly a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. It's one of those deals where come out of a little town, the greatest little city in the whole wide world, as far as I'm concerned, Eli, Kentucky. And, we come out of a very poverty-stricken area to where, there's not a lot of opportunities and things like that. You kind of make your way, so to speak. And, the rodeo life was something that was fairly unheard of from where we were from. But, it was this passion to get into and to try to achieve and things of that nature. And, growing up in the hills and hollers in Kentucky and things of that nature. And, we've had an extremely blessed opportunity down here to actually get to live in this life as far as to do the traveling. And, as soon as I hit 18, man, we were all over the country 21, all over the country doing this, And, man, it's, other than just having a really good opportunity, getting into the rodeo circuit, doing the mom and pop fairs things and keeping chins down, necks up, and holding on for 8 seconds, so to speak. Man, we've lived the life of a dream to actually get to accomplish the things we had. And man, I'm blessed to have had the opportunities that I've had to come in through, as far as within rodeos and within the truck driving and some new businesses and things like that that's come up and things like that. And I absolutely just enjoyed this life that I was given.
Yeah, now you are a few years younger than me, but not too many years younger than me, and we've been in a lot of the same areas. Surprisingly, I was out west, lived out west, and stuff like that. And just like the stories when I've had Friday Wright on, professional bull rider who still does it the way that we used to do it. The kids today and the guys today, they don't do it the way we did it. That's kind of a lost art. So what are you up to these days? Like what are you doing now that the rodeo life has kind of, it's kind of gone by? Or what are you up to now?
Man, we've just started a new gate distribution outfit over here called Reckless Behavior. And basically what we're doing now, because the rodeo life, it's just like you made mention, we don't have that opportunity to stay as young as we did and man, to come up off the ground like we did. And I've seen new ventures coming from old life thinking, I want to pursue this and actually get into, something where we can keep in the agricultural side, keep in the rodeo side, and, kind of like get to live the dream, but not be the one on the ground no more, so to speak, as far as, we distribute gates 48 states in where we can take them, and still getting to visit with those same cowboys and things like that and cowboys we've always got to socialize with, and still getting to stay in the genre and still getting to live the life through somebody else's point of view, watching some really incredible younger ones come up through the ranks now and kind of get to sit back and say, that was me, but now it's these young men and women's time to shine into our set. And man, just enjoying the fact that we got to make it this far, we, you know, like you may mention, the life that we've lived, and got to come up and make it into this certain situation where we can come through and say, okay, you know, let's get into some new adventures. Let's try some new things. Let's, you know, especially for us down here, you know, there's always a life-giving dream. You'll start a new business and things like that, and something where I could stay in the same genre that we come out of. Man, it was kind of like a dream come true for us. You know, as far as coming the gates and things.
Right now, have you noticed? 99% of retired bull riders are truck drivers.
Yes, sir. I have actually.
What do you think that is? Like, what do you think that whole deal is? Like, what is the connection in your mind? I know what it is in my mind, but what is it to you that 99% of us, or anybody who's ever done anything rodeo, becomes a truck driver?
We've got that travel in our blood. You know, you can remember back when we was younger, it was from one town to the next, and, you know, coming from rodeo, and we've got that out west spirit, what I like to call it. You know, we've never called a destination home, but, you know, this country's our home, from the Bronx and from Queens all the way out to Seattle down into the Gallows of Texas. I mean, that is our home, and we can never fully just let go of that life, our freedom, just to travel and just to experience, you know, get to go, because it's always that next town. You know, that was the thing about riding, it's always the next town. You know, if you got the, you know, thing about it, it's never about the buckles, never about the money, things like that. But man, about that opportunity you had, because you knew you hit ground, you weren't worried about what the score was in. You was worried about the next ride, and I think that's a whole lot of it that stays in with just with inside of us. It's that natural free spirit that we continue to have, that we just want to push it further. You know, let's see what's, you know, we've seen this horizon. Let's see what the next horizon's got to show us. Let's just move on just a little bit further. You know. And the thing about it's off the truckers. You know, I was privileged to have that opportunity for several years. And, you know, the trucker, by all means, that is the last great American cowboy in our society today. You know, and, you know, that is the last great roundup for us. But, you know, that is from the bull haulers out west to the steel haulers up north, from the fruit haulers down the south. Man, that's what it's built on. That's what it's all about. And that's why I think we've got that spirit. It stays within inside us, and I believe that's where it goes. And it pushes it just a little bit further, you know. You know.
Exactly. Now, just real fast, this is Hollering with Hammer Show on VictoryLaneRadio.com. I just got a couple quick random questions, and then you can get right back into it. Have you ever been outside of the United States, like other than Canada and Mexico? Have you ever gone anywhere other than Canada and Mexico outside of the United States?
That's about. I've spent a lot of time in Canada, spent a lot of time down in Mexico, but you know, that is something that's on my list of things to do. I want you know, Ireland is somewhere I've dearly wanted to see, and a few other places across the pond, so to speak. So it's not happened yet, but definitely it's on this list of things to do. Something we're really looking forward to.
All right, now when you put in a CD or your MP3 player, little iPad, whatever you got for music, what's Larry Johnson listening to these days?
I mean, you know, honestly, my selection of music, you can ask my children, it scares them to death. And, you know, from my music, I can listen to anything from the gospel to gangster rap to heavy metal. To this day, you know, I've still not got that one thing. You know, we're listening to bluegrass in the morning, and that afternoon we're rolling on the west side of Compton with our hats tilted, because that's just us. That's, you know, it's a driven thing. But I have to say, if I was going to give all of it, I would have to say probably I would spend more time probably in bluegrass than I do any of it. But by all means, I love I've got a kindred spirit for any kind of artist that's doing music and things like that. And, you know, music's a strange art, and to love it, you have to give it all. And by all means, I mean, you have to appreciate every form of art that there is when it comes to music. As far as what I think.
Exactly. Anyway. I'm the same way. I go from Hank Williams Sr. to
Absolutely.
Tupac, and then Lil Mob Deep, and I go straight into the hard stuff. Hard Metallica stuff like that. But beyond it, I go through all the music. Now, before we get into some more stuff, you recently had a lot of stuff going on in your life. You want to mention any of that, or is that something you don't want to talk about? I didn't discuss it with you.
why ain't no thing. Yeah, recently engaged, things like that. Because I mean, I've it's something exciting, something new, and it's something I'm really looking forward to carrying on and amazing individual. I'm blessed to have her in my life, and thank the Lord she ain't got good eyesight. I probably wouldn't be, but a lot of stuff going on there. The business with the new marriage coming up and things like that. And I mean, it's I've always believed if one door closes, another one comes open or to that effect. And I tell you, here lately the garage door's been coming up. I never lived that good, so I'm pretty sure I'm getting somebody else's blessings. But at the same time, man, I'm much obliged to have that opportunity. I mean, life has really turned around, because and what I take a lot of it from the blessings that I hold right now. To look at my life in the last 3 or 4 year period and stuff like that, I found myself, and we made mention of the poems and things like that. I spent a lot of my time writing, and I look back at some of my previous writings. I look back at some of the poems, the Devil's Gallows or the Hellhounds, and some of these things that I've wrote. And I got to look at, man, where was you in life that when you wrote that piece, so to speak, how bleak things were at that particular point, and to flip it over now, man, you open your eyes and you've got blessings upon blessings, and it's a totally new experience. And I mean, I'm grateful for every opportunity. I mean, it's every day I open my eyes, man, it's a new experience for me, and I can't begin to thank the people that's in my life and the things like that, especially as far as like the business. We'll kick into it for just a minute if we can. Coming from where we do, and I hate to say it in this manner and this mannerism, but coming from where we do, and I see it, and you see it a lot up in your particular part of the world too. We were so stereotyped. I mean, we were stereotypical people as far as, okay, well, this is what you're going to amount to, or this what that you're going to amount to, and to be able to come out and do some of these things that people never gave you a chance to do, never give you an opportunity to come into. And halfway be successful and still remain humble, man. It's breathtaking for me. Especially coming from what we do, getting to do the things we've done, and the blessings bestowed upon us, man. Listen, I ain't got nothing but love for all of us. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. We got a few minutes left here. If you want to shoot on any topic you want, I'm going to get you back on 2017 kind of early on. We're going to get you in January, man. We're going to put some of that poetry out there because the people need to hear some of that stuff, man. And they can go over to my Facebook page. You post there frequently, and they can read your stuff. So
yes,
if you want to shoot on a topic for a couple minutes, man, go ahead if there's anything on your mind.
Man, I'll tell you what I'm going to give real quick. Before I get too much further ahead of myself, I was digging in my pocket. I hate to be rude. I was trying to find that the delicious Cowboy Coffee Chew. Much love to the individuals and the boys over there for making an outstanding product. I mean, something I love dearly, and just something letting me keep my lifestyle up without the lot. Some of the more harness effects of what the tobacco did. So much love for them gentlemen and the products that they make. I can't say enough good things about them. But that's my main thing here.
Yeah, I've said it 100 times on this program. They've been behind me since day one. They were behind me long before I had a radio show. They're behind bull riders, and thanks to them, I get top bull riders on my show, and they are a great product. If you're trying to quit tobacco, that's what you need to try. It tastes like coffee because it is coffee. There ain't no chemicals. There ain't no additives. There ain't no nothing. You can check them out on Facebook. They're on Twitter, Instagram, Cowboy Coffee Chew Dip. Check out their website. They're
great product, and the website is second to none, man. Take time and get on that website and check them out. Like I said, somebody like myself that come from that life, that we was burning that tobacco up, and man, it's much love for the Cowboy Coffee Chew boys and the product, because man, they do make an outstanding product. We've got nothing but love for them. But man, I tell you what, if I could holler one thing real quick, and this goes to anybody.
Yeah, real quick, that website is chewcoffeedip.com. Go ahead, Larry. Sorry to cut you off.
Ain't no problem. But anything is the way I look at it, and take it for what you want, because I've heard people say this my whole life. But if you listen to me, and let me tell you something, if you're struggling with something and you're thinking that ain't nobody got you, I'm going to tell you something, we got you. You come down to little old nowhere in the middle of Kentucky, but we ain't got nothing but love for you. We've seen too many people come out of situations and do good for themselves. And, it's like us, whether we're in the rodeo circuit or what we're in, we just push love. And we push prosperity for everyone that has that opportunity, because there be too many people that try to hold you down. They don't let you. They don't give you those opportunities. I'm telling you, it's not. If you're listening, man, stand up and get that opportunity. Be that opportunity. Be what you. Because don't worry about what people are saying, because they're gonna talk regardless. Let them do their thing. But stand up and know that there's people like me that we love you. And we're wishing the best for each and every one of you. Come up and do something, and we, whether it be a up and coming rodeo, bull rider, up and coming barrel race, or anything that it is. I mean, if there's something that's on your mind, you think you can do it. Listen, if they ain't standing behind you, that's all right. We are. We know you can do it. Don't worry about what they got to say to you. We okay with you. We know what you're gonna be all right with.
Yeah, that's perfect. There's a kid out there right now in Kentucky, man, you got to reach out to, man. We discussed it off the air, so, we don't need to go into any further details on that. But, so it's Reckless Behavior.
Yes.
Reckless
Absolutely.
Behavior Gate Company?
A Reckless Behavior Distribution. You can check us out on Facebook. It's WRECK Behavior, or WRECKLESS Behavior. Man, we earned the name years ago on the back of them bulls. And I said it when I was coming up with my company name, I said, for years I had this reckless behavior about myself. Ain't nothing more fitting to give the company name than something that stood behind it, something that built that company. I said, so we're going to call it this. And the thing about it, we're doing things up here. If you're into hobby farming, you're into big time farming, if you're into bull riding, whatever you need, we got it for you. We can take care of you. We can accommodate you. We'll get it to you. And, it's like I said, it's one thing about us. We come out of this world. We understand the products. We understand the need of the products. And that was the main thing. Anybody can say anything, but it's like we know what we're doing, because when we go home, it's what we do. When we go to cabin 8 and when we're looking at little old heads that come up off the farm, and we're checking the chickens, man, this is, like I said, this is our lifestyle. This is who we are, As far, and like I said, we try to accommodate anybody across the 48. If you need something of our services, if we can help you, just reach out to us. Anything we can do, we'll be more than obliged to quote you, take care of you, do whatever we can do for you.
Absolutely. Larry Johnson, you're talking tonight. I can't wait to have you on in 2017. And everything you said is right on, man. Everybody's got to help everybody, and we'll be a little bit better. Larry Johnson, Cowboy Coffee Chew, Reckless Behavior Distribution. You can check them out on Facebook. I didn't even know you had a page, so I'm going to link up to that and post that on my Facebook. Larry, thank you very much tonight.
Hey, it's been my pleasure. God bless y'all, and let me tell you something. We're hollering at you.
All right, that was Larry Johnson, former bull rider and just all-around good guy, poet. He does a little bit of everything out there. So it's guys like that I want to put on my show. I've had some on in the past, and we've had them on different guys in the time I've been on, right, and stuff like that. So we got about 10 minutes left, man. I got these emails. Now, I had gone on Twitter, and it gets a little crazy, but, I don't care. We're uncensored over here. Eric LaFlesh behind the glass tonight, VictoryLaneRadio.com. So I asked people on Twitter to email me. My email is holleringwithhammer@yahoo.com. Email me questions, suggestions. Tell me I'm a jerk off. Whatever you got to do, if you feel like wasting time in emailing me, just do it. So I got some questions. Some of these are inappropriate, so move the children. The first question I got was kind of a majority thing, and so I'm just going to read one of them, and it's, can you please stop with the MMA? So I'm going to answer that one. No. And you didn't put a name, and I'm not reading your guys' email names over the radio. So, yeah, no, I'm not going to stop with MMA, guys. I think MMA is cool. I prefer boxing, but MMA took over, and that's just the way it is.